It's Friday, September 3rd, 2010. I'm Kevin McShan, and this is the McShan Sports Beat Report. At one point or another in our lives, we'll all be faced with a moment where the strength of our resolve is tested and the content of our character is revealed. For Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback Ben Roethlisberger, that moment has arrived. The two-time Super Bowl champion received the news he was hoping for when he met with NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell on Friday morning, when he was informed by the commissioner that his mandatory league suspension of 6 games had been reduced to 4. Roethlisberger is now eligible to return to action on October 17th when the Steelers face off against the Cleveland Browns. He can resume practicing with his teammates on October 4th. Pittsburgh will be forced to go into the first month of the season without the services of their all-pro quarterback. He'll miss the season opener at home against the Atlanta Falcons, games against the Tennessee Titans, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and Baltimore Ravens. Roethlisberger was suspended for violating the NFL's personal conduct policy. Goodell said at the time he would take the next few months to review the player's behavior, and he said on Friday that he was satisfied that Roethlisberger had followed the league's guidelines and remained out of trouble. Roethlisberger was accused of sexually assaulting a Georgia college student at a Milledgeville, Georgia bar following a night of drinking on March 5th. He was not charged by Georgia police. The league also said on Friday that Roethlisberger's reinstatement was contingent upon him continuing to adhere to the program set up by our advisors and not to have any further violations of the personal conduct policy. In a letter to Roethlisberger, Goodell said, "You have told me and the Steelers you are committed to making better decisions. Your actions over the past several months have been consistent with that promise, and now you must continue to honor that commitment," Goodell said. The former Super Bowl MVP is the first player suspended by Goodell under the policy who's not been arrested, charged, or convicted of a crime. However, Goodell said in April that the policy allowed him to impose such discipline or a penalty if the league's integrity was at stake. NFL Network's Jason La Canfora is reporting that at one point, Roethlisberger's representatives wanted his suspension cut in half. However, the commissioner stipulated in April that Roethlisberger's suspension would be a 6-game suspension, which only had the ability to be reduced to 4 games. Steelers president Art Rooney accompanied Roethlisberger to the meeting with Goodell, which took place in New Jersey. During this 4-month ordeal, the Steelers and the Commissioner's office have kept in frequent contact while Roethlisberger went under extensive evaluations. In a statement released by the team on Friday, Rooney said that the organization was encouraged by the steps Roethlisberger was taking in order to correct his mistakes of the past. Commissioner Goodell informed us today that Ben Roethlisberger's suspension has been reduced to 4 games. Ben has done a good job this summer of growing into the person he needs to be, both on and off the field. I am confident that Ben is committed to continuing in this positive direction. As a team, our focus is now preparing for the regular season and getting off to a good start on opening weekend, Rooney said. The team had planned to levy their own discipline against Roethlisberger if the league failed to take action. Goodell and Roethlisberger had a meeting of the minds last month at the team's training facility in Latrobe, Pennsylvania. At the time, Goodell had said he was encouraged by the progress Roethlisberger was making, and he promised to render his decision on the length of his suspension before the beginning of the regular season. During his absence, the Steelers signal caller plans to work out with quarterbacks coach George Whitfield out of California. He'll throw to some free agent wide receivers. During the offseason, the team signed veteran quarterback Byron Leftwich for his second tour of duty in Pittsburgh, and they plan to start him while Roethlisberger is serving his suspension. However, he injured his knee in Thursday night's preseason finale against the Carolina Panthers, and the severity of the injury has yet to be determined. If Leftwich is out for any extended amount of time, expect head coach Mike Tomlin and offensive coordinator Bruce Arians to turn to youngster Dennis Dixon to assume the starting role, with veteran Charlie Batch serving as the backup. Roethlisberger is also being sued by a Nevada woman who claims she was sexually assaulted by the quarterback in 2008. However, no charges were ever brought in that case and didn't factor into the NFL's suspension. The onus is now on Roethlisberger to prove he deserves a second chance. He now must embrace and accept the second lease on life he's been granted to steer his career and his life in the right direction. He must be mindful of the fact that it's a privilege and not a right to play quarterback in the most celebrated league in all of professional sports. There's no denying that Roethlisberger has come a long way, but there's still plenty of work for him to do. Kevin McShan Sports Beat Report.